I promised myself that before I died, I would record my story. And I'm afraid if I don't do it now, I never will. My name is Olivia. I'm 33 years old. When I was growing up, there was a period of time I can remember being really happy. My parents and I had a house and some land out in the country. Things seemed pretty normal, I felt loved. Yet everything started to change when I was about 8 years old. My dad started drinking a lot after his sister died, and at first he tried to hide it, but it just got worse and worse until it got to the point where he couldn't work or take care of himself. He started disappearing for days, weeks, sometimes months at a time. And all I wanted to do was save him, But I was still just a little girl, and there wasn't much I knew how to do besides hiding his beer, which never helped anything. And all that time, I never remember my mom saying anything about it. Even when he would leave, she just silently retreated. Dad finally did disappear for good one day. I never saw him again. And my mom kinda checked out after that. She couldn't handle much anymore, and had developed what I now know was pretty severe depression and anxiety. I was always trying everything I could to make her happy, but I got to the point where she really couldn't take care of me anymore. She got hospitalized after trying to kill herself by overdosing on her anxiety meds. I was 13 years old. I went to go live with my aunt, who was a single mom of 3 kids already, and started spending a lot of time with my older cousins. I was completely heartbroken to leave my mom, deeply homesick for a home and a family that were gone forever. One day, one of my cousins handed me this white pill and told me it would make everything better. That pill was Percocet. There was something that happened to me when that fucking pill hit my system. It was like nothing mattered anymore. It wasn't just that I could deal with the pain, it was that the pain didn't matter anymore. And after that, my whole life became about trying to recreate that feeling. I started with taking anything that I could get from my cousins or that I could find, mostly pills and weed. And then, when I was 18, I discovered heroin. Heroin. Fuck. I'd found something that not only numbed my pain, but added an unexplainable euphoria. It had me immediately. I was using every day. By 21, I was shooting up. For me, getting drugs was as hard as it was easy. Heroin is rarely hard to find, but the process of getting it was all-consuming. I felt like I was being chased by withdrawal. Everything I did was in an attempt to keep it at bay. I had to find a way to come up with the money, which often meant stealing or selling myself. I had to find supplies, which were almost never clean, much less sterile. And then I needed a safe place to shoot up, meaning a place where I wouldn't get arrested, but that other people were at, so that if I stopped breathing, someone could maybe help me. It was a strategy that seemed to work out in my favor. It wasn't long before I survived my first overdose. Then a second, and a third, all within about 2 years. One of these times, I woke up to my mom sitting next to me in the hospital. The first thing she asked was, "Why are you trying to kill yourself?" And all I could say was, "I don't know. It felt impossible to tell her how much I wanted to live. I was almost embarrassed to admit how much I wanted to live because my life was such a piece of shit. But I knew I wanted to live. One time, I went to buy from one of my dealers, and after taking my money, he bashed my head into the concrete and raped me. When he was done, he threw my baggie at me and told me to get the fuck out of there. Before I ran away, I blurted out, "Thank you. Thank you for not killing me." I knew I wanted to live. But how do you tell your mother that? You don't. It was easier for her to think I didn't care if I died. Plus, a week later, I was back buying from that same fucking guy. Because that was the grip of my addiction. How is it possible anyone would actually want to survive that? But somehow I kept surviving. After the last overdose, the doctors found an infection in my heart and had to do a surgery to fix one of my heart valves. I was 26 years old. I'm still so grateful for the years they gave me, even though it was obvious they didn't want a thing to do with me. I was just another strung out fucking junkie who had done this to herself. I get it, though. I knew what I looked like. I saw myself. I lived with myself. I fucking hated myself. All I wanted was to change. But I saw myself how the world saw me. As someone with a character flaw that was too weak to do what was right. As someone who was a burden on the rest of the world. As someone who didn't deserve to be saved. I was back to using heroin 6 months after my heart surgery, and for the next 2 years after. To this day, I'm still not really sure what caused the change. I was walking down the street one night, and I noticed I was near the area where the local hospital was. I just started walking toward it. I walked right into the emergency department and told the first nurse I saw, "I need help." I fully expected her to brush me off, but instead she just stopped and stared at me. After a minute or so, she put her hand on my shoulder and said, "Follow me." That moment, that nurse, those 2 little words saved my life. Because in that moment, I don't think I truly believed I could get clean. I needed someone to believe in me. And it was finding that person that started my journey through detox and rehab. I haven't touched heroin since that night. That was almost 4 years ago. Getting clean was the hardest thing I have ever done. I could not have done it alone. No one can do this alone. Since I've been clean, I've gotten my GED. I took classes and got certified as a nursing assistant and worked in an assisted living home. My mom and I have gotten closer than we have ever been. I have friends, real friends. I've never had that before. I've used every spare moment to make up for my life as it was before. Beyond just getting clean, I wanted to prove my life was worth something. But I started feeling kind of strange a while ago. Tired all the time, having trouble breathing. It turns out that there's something wrong with my heart again. Or maybe there always was. Something about the valve they replaced not working properly, which I guess made me go into heart failure. The doctors say that there aren't many options for me for a bunch of reasons that I don't fully understand. They don't seem to believe I don't shoot up anymore. In any case, it looks like I might be dying, even after 4 years clean. I will never forget the first time in my adult life that I actually stopped to enjoy the sun on my face. I was on a walk through a trail at the rehab center and I just cried. To be able to stop and enjoy anything was not something I had ever been able to do before. It was that moment I truly understood freedom. I was free. It comes down to this. I want you to know that even though in the end this disease will probably kill me anyway, the fight for recovery has been so worth it. If nothing more than being able to die free. I'll be grateful for every day I have left because I'm one of the lucky ones.